Yeah.
Do you think people pleasing and perfectionism are the same thing?
Perfectionism to me, trying to get everything right, very tied to tying our value, what we produce, to our worth. People pleasing, trying to make everyone happy, not disappoint people, which is also tied to our value and worth. Are they the same thing? I think at the core is that like a sense of unworthiness. I think that essence is the same. So it's similar for
Yeah.
sure, but I think it manifests maybe slightly differently.
Yeah. It was a question that came up in my mind just now because I was thinking about the characteristics of it, like um, from Max's episode. I felt like the main core word that I kept getting was boundaries, right? And when I think about boundaries, I think about all the things that keep us from having boundaries, which is usually, like you said, a sense of like trying to find worth in things that don't give us worth, like yeah, please reaching certain expectations that were made by other people, or trying to create a perception of yourself or an opinion of yourself in other people's minds. Kind of like it when you look at it from far, it kind of feels really manipulating, but then it makes so much sense when you're in that moment. Like,
Yeah.
of course you want people to like you, of course you want people to value you. That's not wrong, right?
Right.
It's a very human instinct. But then all the things that we do in desperation for that fulfillment makes it unhealthy, right? But then I feel like I'm not really a people pleaser, but I struggle a lot with perfectionism. So I was like, I wonder if they cross over sometimes, in the sense of like, I don't want to fail, but why do I not want to fail? Well, because usually there's someone important on the other side of it that I feel like I don't want to fail them.
Yeah.
Failing me is not as bad as failing someone else. And that kind of feels like perfectionism. But then when it comes to like people pleasing as a label, I kind of feel less pressure. Maybe because I don't feel like I can. I don't think it's possible to please everybody. So maybe in my mind it's less important. I
Yeah.
don't know, I'm just processing out loud in a personal sense of like, oh, what situations in my life seem important to me and cause me to overextend myself, whether that's my energy or my time or my commitments, saying yes when I want to say no.
Yeah.
It usually comes from valuing the person that's receiving on the other end, right?
Yeah. Can I ask questions about that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you mentioned not wanting to fail someone else,
Yeah.
but not really caring as much about failing yourself. What is it? Why is failing someone else? What does that actually like mean? Like, why is that something that you fear?
I think ultimately, if I'm being very honest with myself, I feel safer with myself than I do with other people. And that would cause me to feel like if I mess up, I can forgive myself, but I don't know if other people will. And I know that might be like unusual, because I feel like some people feel safer with others than they do with themselves. But for me, it feels like I can control what goes on in here, but I can't control what goes on out there, or in other people's hearts, or in other people's minds. Or I've had experiences where people that are really important to me, like, were disappointed with me, and it hurt so much. And so that kind of gives me a subconscious feeling of like, oh, don't fail other people because it's gonna hurt, right? So ultimately, it's still me being afraid of hurting myself, but it's that trickle effect. If I don't want other people to be hurt or disappointed, because I don't want to feel their hurt and disappointment, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to
I would say
dig
a lot of
into.
it is just not being aware, right? I would say it's like an automatic response to things that we don't really know we're doing, and we feel like it's normal
Yes.
because our whole society does it, right?
Right.
So it's almost wrong or unnormal when you choose to have boundaries and you go, I need to take care of myself right now, or I need
Totally.
to say no to something that looks really, really good for the sake of protecting my heart or my energy, or
Yeah, exactly. I think, so many people have these beliefs about the world, yet they're not always questioning, like, even just some simple questions like we just had can reveal, oh, yeah, even though I'm afraid of failing someone else, it actually means like there's something that I'm afraid of doing. And when you go deeper, you can really reveal like what's actually going on, which can help us see more clearly and then make choices from that place.
yeah, yeah. I think awareness doesn't just happen on its own, right? How would you say you feel like you grow in self-awareness? Like you want to get better at protecting your heart, but you don't realize when you're not protecting your heart. Like, how would you begin even being aware of that?
Yeah. So,
Big
yeah, it is a
question,
big
right? Yeah.
question. And I think we are often mysteries to ourselves, which is why there's so much power in friends and community and people to help us see ourselves more clearly.
Yeah.
So it's probably like the biggest, maybe one of the most effective ways. But also journaling can be good if you're asking the right questions. Like there's so many things you can ask, just like a series of why questions. Why am I doing this? Why am I, why? And digging into different reasons.
Getting curious.
Yeah, getting curious.
You know, I think that's actually the most profound thing, because boundaries isn't about shutting people out, right? It's about being able to protect your capacity to hold space for other people to come in, right? I think that, like, even talking to Max and Hello Heart about that, like, his answer kept being, I have a smaller circle. I select my people, or, you know, it wasn't going, I just go off by myself and I never talk to anyone. It was never about isolation. It was always about choosing and being very intentional about who you're sharing your life with. So, like you said, you can't grow in awareness all by yourself. It's a lot about you and a lot about your decisions, but we're not designed to be alone, right?
Right.
Yeah. We just said that earlier, like there's a lot of things inside of us that we can't see. And maybe we're not designed to figure everything out by yourself. But those that you choose to come in need to be safe and trustworthy, and
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes that can change with people, and there's so many dynamics at play, and people also come and go in a beautiful way.
in a beautiful way. But what if you are someone that, let's say you opened up to someone who was kind and trustworthy, but they changed, or the relationship changed, or they're just really disappointed in that connection that felt safe? Do you feel like that's something, let me say, what's the beginning of that process? Like, I want to open up to other people, but other people have hurt me a lot.
Yeah, that's a big question for sure. And I think I hear that out there a lot, especially when it comes to like romantic relationships too. This applies so much to all relationships.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's knowing that real connection comes from that sense of openness. When I'm open, I think I'm more able to connect with someone, to share myself, to really be seen by someone else. And then I think the other important part is keeping in mind that, things are dynamic, as I mentioned. And the cool thing about that is that that's not like a bad thing, that relationships can shift and form and change. But then it brings it back to like boundaries and being able to communicate how things are changing. Oh, yeah, we used to hang out like this way, But I'm not really feeling that anymore, or this happened and I'd rather be doing this. And just being able to communicate that in a way that is not necessarily blaming someone else, but it's just sharing how you feel is also quite important in boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah. You reminded me of something Max also said in the episode was, it must be fun to change. It's like, I think we look at change with the eyes of, oh no, it's so uncomfortable and dangerous because it can be unknown and scary. But when you put it the way you put it, it feels like, oh, it's okay. It's all right for things to change, things that felt safe or solid, relationships that felt like they'd be forever.
Yeah.
It's very natural for things to change, isn't it? And embracing it by saying, okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what else comes up or what new things will enter my life. It can be really fun to change.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm different. Maybe it's not always about the other person changing, right? Maybe what I need or the way I communicate has grown or changed, and that's okay too. Like, personally, I feel like I've walked distantly from certain relationships, friendships especially, just because I love to grow and it's not very comfortable for everyone. I've had some friendships where I was honestly like, hey, this habit really isn't good for you or for me. Like, let's get better. And they'd be like, no, I like my, habit that's a little bit dysfunctional because it's comfortable.
Right.
And then in that sense, I can't stay in that place anymore because it doesn't work for me. And so we automatically, naturally become distant from each other, even though we thought we'd be friends forever, and that hurts because I go, well, maybe I can accept that habit, or maybe I can accept that lifestyle. But then that would be completely ignoring the boundaries to protect my heart, because
Right.
I know that that's not good for me anymore. And it feels like a huge choice between the friendship and the value, right? But it doesn't have to be. It's like you said, it's natural for people. That person will find their person in
Yeah.
their stage of life.
Yeah.
And I will find my people in my stage of life. But you have to let that happen and be open for that.
Totally.
As well.
Totally. And it's like, I also think one thing that makes it hard to set boundaries is, I think there's a lot of like, first, the idea of safety. And I think when I was really studying boundaries a lot, there's so much danger that we associate with telling someone no or like changing something out in the world. And it's very also nervous system related. It's like back in the day, like saying no and like cutting off like someone else might mean we get thrown out, and that's like very unsafe. And we're always looking for safety. Our bodies want safety.
Yeah.
And so we attach like a lot of fears, a lot of like, even sometimes I think at the core, like this idea of death, like if I'm not with the group, if I'm saying no to people, there's like some uncomfortable stuff in there. So I've even experienced like when I'm about to go set a boundary, my body's like tensing up. I'm feeling heat, and like it's hard, and I'm feeling a lot of symptoms around that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I totally understand, but that's another thing that I feel like we don't touch on much in the wellness or mental health realm, is that choosing good things for you can feel really uncomfortable.
Totally.
So how would you know that even, okay, my body's reacting, I don't feel safe in this moment. How do I know that that's actually a really good thing for me?
Great question. I think it comes before that moment. I think that's like, well, even thinking about setting a boundary, even if I'm not even in the moment of setting it with someone, these thoughts and fears will come up. But I think knowing that it's something that I want to do will come maybe before, of like maybe a previous time of hanging out with someone, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe something felt off, or like, oh, I wasn't really vibing as much as maybe I used to with this person. And so kind of just bringing awareness to my moments in different situations helps me realize, oh, maybe something needs to change. And maybe I don't know what that is quite yet at the moment.
Yeah.
Um,
We're kind of looking at a bigger picture.
Exactly.
Than that just that one uncomfortable moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we so often mix up self-love as something that's like, oh, it feels so good.
Right.
But wait, like you said, in the bigger picture, okay, avoiding that uncomfortable moment is no longer good for me. So obviously, love is doing the best thing for the person of the beloved, right? And if I'm loving myself well, it would do the best thing for me, even if it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So finding out what's best for you isn't really in the moment, is it? More of
Right.
a overall patterns, habits. Like you said, maybe I haven't been feeling like safe with these people for a while, or things that I do with these people are not benefiting my life
Yeah.
in the long run.
Yeah.
But in that moment of saying no, it feels totally unsafe, right? Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And another one is like, who knows what's going to happen to the connection? Sometimes maybe both people aren't feeling great in the situation, but no one's really speaking up. And so sharing a boundary of like, oh, I don't. So for me, one example would be a lot of my old like childhood friends that I grew up with, they love to go out and party. I still want to hang out with them and see them. But then setting a boundary of like, I love you guys, I value our friendship and want to continue hanging out, but I don't want to do it in that way. Is there another way that we can hang out? And that was very scary for me to even ask that, because I had whatever thoughts in my head being like, oh, if I say this, they're going to think something about me, it's going to hurt the relationship. But actually, it allowed it to expand because we can connect deeper in a way that still works for them and works for me, just doing something else, not partying, not drinking. So it's like I also had this idea in my mind of how it would turn out, because I think there's a lot of fear. It also leads to like black and white thinking, not really seeing all the potential, all the possibilities. But then after sitting down and having a real conversation, it's like, yeah, we can figure things out in relationships as well.
Oh, wow. I love that, because I feel like if I was your friend, I would still feel the value behind what you said is that the friendship is valuable to me, but the surrounding is not working out for me, which is still something within everyone's control, right?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I don't like you anymore, it's like, oh, I don't like what we're doing, but you are important to me. It makes the conversation a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
How did you figure out those differentiations between like, this is a friendship I still want, but I don't want to party anymore?
Yeah.
Was there like a process for you to like figure that out, or did you just feel like, I need this, but I don't need this?
One of the biggest things was, whenever I would go out, not even necessarily with these people, but I would just like the next day or the next week would always like look back and be like, I wish I didn't do that. So it's like after the moments, in more of my own time, silence, I could realize like, oh, there's something about this situation that feels off. And then I kind of, honed in on, it was the idea of going out, staying up late, drinking a lot that I didn't really like. Then I also was so torn because that's how I hung out with these people. And there's also, another part where it's like, okay, I guess I wasn't always sure if I did want to continue hanging out with these people. So there's still a question mark there, but I was open to exploring if there was another way. So I didn't know that the final solution would be, oh, let's just hang out in a different place or do something else. It was just the next step on me figuring out what is real for me. It was to be like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I still want to see what's here with these people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so self-aware. And allowing for the process of self-awareness, like, I wonder if this is what I like, or I wonder if this is what it is. And I like that you gave yourself time. You didn't just figure it all out in one day or one night. Like, okay, is it black or is it white? Is it going to be yes or is it going to be no?
Exactly, yeah. I think back to the idea of like, change can be beautiful. And the idea that things aren't so static and like things are always changing and we can figure it out as we go has been a good, helpful thing for me to embrace.
Yeah, we're all allowed to change. We're all allowed to grow, and it can be messy sometimes. But that's kind of the beauty of it, is that we're not just black and white creatures. We're not projects to be perfected and to be set in stone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What has your experience been? You shared a bit about boundaries for you. Do you remember times where boundaries were hard for you?
Oh, for sure. Most of my younger life, I feel like, was hard for me because my whole home was like a community home for people. So our lives were based on other people's needs, for sure. I'm giving a very short, summarized story of it, but I think I would say the modeling industry taught me a lot about boundaries because there's so many wonderful people in the modeling industry, but like any business or any industry, there are a lot of unsafe people as well. And it helped me see at a young age, like, what you can give to people, what you can't give to people, in a very very profound terms, like your time, your energy, or your exposure. Even as a as a girl and as a model, like, nope, not gonna wear that, even if you're gonna pay me, or I'm not gonna do 20 hours of work, or there are just certain boundaries that there's that job sort of like offered the opportunity for me to see what my limits were in a very clear way. Whereas I felt like other jobs probably didn't have as much of those extremes. Yeah, I could say they were extremes. And so the extreme of something taught me, oops, this is where I'm going to stay. Oh, no, this is where I'm protected and where I'm safe. So for sure, I would say that trickles into all the other aspects of my life. Like, yeah, I'm not willing to work for a reward like money or fame or anything, over my limit. So obviously, I'm not going to party over my limit, or talk to strangers over my limit, or go overextend myself when I travel or things like that. You know what I mean? It just kind of taught me certain boundaries naturally because I found out what was too much for me already. Yeah, I mean, I'm summarizing so many stories, but I feel like it's okay to explore your limits in that sense, like, because you won't know when to say no until the opportunity arises. And I feel like for me, as a perfectionist, the pressure to know where your boundaries are was a lot, but actually you're not going to know until you grow into it, right?
Yeah.
And give yourself grace for that, give yourself kindness for that, to say, like, okay, I didn't know that I needed this boundary, but now I do, so I'm going to ask for it. Whereas I think we blame ourselves, like, I should have known before, or I should have had this protecting me before, but you didn't know.
Right.
And it's okay. Like, you did too much, you burnt out, or oh, you got hurt, or you gave too much to a person who wasn't safe. It's okay. I know it feels a lot like I would say I've blamed myself for relationships where I gave too much, and it's okay. Like, I made the choice in that time that I felt was best. Now I think I could make a better choice, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's no I think there's a right or wrong way to grow in this field. I'm sure there is a less painful way to do things, but if you're on that journey, I would just say, like, give yourself kindness to find out what fits best into your life, because no one else can decide that for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
That's so good, of like giving yourself grace. And the other thing that really stood out before I share about mine is the idea that, yeah, we don't always know. And even if in one moment we don't set our boundary, that's okay too. And, it's just that'll be another data point. We'll realize, oh, I didn't set this thing that I wanted to, and there's another chance next time. And it's like we can always try again and try
always
again.
Another chance.
Yeah. For me, let's see, biggest boundaries. I think I'm gonna go also to career. I'm gonna bring in more the topic of death.
Okay.
They're not necessarily in losing someone, but I took a class in philosophy that was all around existentialism, and I very much contemplated my life. Why am I living?
Yeah.
What's the point of being here? And also, they had this really cool extra credit assignment where we had to download this app that would remind me every day that I'm gonna die someday, and
Wow.
to kind of just contemplate that, like how does that affect how I am in this moment? I think questioning that and realizing that, yeah, death can come at any moment, and I'm someone who wants to make the most of life, live as fully as possible. And I realized that in university especially, I was doing a lot of things I didn't want to be doing. I was studying something that I thought I should study just because my parents told me to, or society was saying was a great thing to study. And I was starting to realize that I wasn't feeling good doing that. And in that kind of both fast and slow realization that I was engaging with life in a way that I wasn't really enjoying as much as I kind of thought I could, it helped reveal this value of mine of wanting to give my all to every moment. And so whenever I wasn't doing that, I was like, okay, what boundary needs to be set here? It helped me realize both what I wanted and what I didn't want. And just starting to apply that to my own life as, in a way, a boundary of like, okay, I'm not going to work these jobs that I don't want to work. Yeah.
That is so profound, and I think will resonate with pretty much everybody, because I think we've all done things that we like, why am I doing this again? But that sense of urgency, of like, yeah, really don't waste too much time doing things you don't need to be doing.
Yeah.
Find out why you feel like you need to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's what's guiding your life. Your life has so much value. Your time is so valuable. What are we investing in? What are we spending our time creating more obligations and fears, or are we creating joy and living with purpose? Like you say, yeah, that is so profound. Well, gotta go live my life to the fullest now, Max. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. But you're an inspiration to many, and even me, to live more fully just by seeing you exist in the world.
We need each other. Not born alone.
Exactly.
Thank you, Max.
You're welcome.
Yeah, been on my mind. Could be any day. I think Max also said that in the episode of like we have some time left in our lives, just to spend it with the people that matter the most to you, because that's the quality of life. Yeah.
Yeah.